Hi, I'm Ryan Malar, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Marlborough Minute. Today, I'm very excited to be joined with someone who's doing a little bit or a lot of it of everything and doing it all incredibly well. Lily Dobson is a college student. She's studying sports broadcasting. She's a golfer for Dean College, and she just placed in the top 10 at her very first pageant, earning the title of Miss Marlborough. That's right, we have Miss Marlborough in the studio today. She's now getting ready to represent the city at nationals, all while using her platform to inspire girls and young women to chase their goals, follow their dreams, no matter what life throws their way. Lily, welcome. I'm so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So, many people have these preconceived notions of what these pageants are, the most famous ones being, the Miss America pageants. And then, of course, on TV, we have all of the Honey Boo Boo style children's pageants, which are really out of control. But you competed in Miss Massachusetts, which is a part of National American Miss. That's the big organization,
Yes.
right? How is this competition different or similar to those other ones that might be on our mind?
Yeah, so National American Miss, they stand on confidence and not the way that you look. So anyone can go out there, and as long as you're confident and you can hold yourself, they judge on your poise, they judge on how you can present yourself, how well you speak, and all overall, just who you are, not what you look like.
Your character.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, just in meeting you right before we started this conversation, you have such an amazing, effervescent character. You're just bubbling as soon as you came in here, and we're all a little nervous before interviews, but I'm just so excited to learn a little bit more about you. So this was your first pageant. You weren't a pageant baby who was forced into strutting her stuff with a giant wig from a very young age. What inspired you to participate in this particular pageant?
Yeah, so I got a letter in the mail from National American Miss saying that I was recommended to compete and that I was welcome to join an open call in Worcester. So I went to the open call where I then had an interview with the director of National American Miss, Elizabeth. She's amazing.
Cool.
So I had my interview with her. Then we sat down and we learned a little bit about the pageant and what the pageant is about and what their standards are and how they judge. So we learned a little bit about that. And then we did a little practicing as well, seeing if it's something that everyone would want to do. So then I went home the next day. I got the text, you have been you're now a state finalist. You're going to Miss Massachusetts.
Yes.
And I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think that was going to happen. So then the next step was I went to pageant prep again in Worcester, where we really worked on some rehearsal-like things. And we got to talking with all of the girls about what we're going to do and all of the optional contests that we're going to be part of and how we were going to fundraise to get to being at state level. So then I ended up going to states where I placed top 10 in Massachusetts, and when my name was called, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. So when I see competitions on TV, you see folks have their glam squad that are helping them with their makeup and their costume changes for all the different gowns. Who was there to support you and make sure you looked your best, but also keep you calm and feeling good?
So my glam squad was my mom.
Yes, go moms.
I had her travel with me to Springfield where we had the state level pageant. She did my hair, I did my makeup, and then who kept me calm was my mom, but also all of the girls that I met who truly are my best friends. And at open call in Worcester, when we were there, we were told that we would meet our future bridesmaids and lifelong friends, and that is truly what happened. All of these girls, I love them so much. I met my best friends there.
That's really incredible in such a condensed, short period of time to meet folks that you really resonate with. And what sort of things did you have in common that you were drawn to each other and created these friendships?
So a lot of the things that we had in common were just so I am studying sports broadcasting at Dean. So I've met some girls who are doing journalism or they're doing other things related to communications. So it was fun to connect with them and see how they go about their journalism and then how I go about writing my prep for sports.
Fantastic. So break down the competition for me. How many different categories? What are you doing on stage?
So it was a 3-day long pageant. We had check-in the first day where I met all of my girls. I got all of my swag.
Yes.
I got this bag that says "in my pageant era."
Yes.
And I carried that along with me all weekend long. So then after that, we had some rehearsals. We practiced our opening number dance. So there were 3 sections to be judged on. We had our personal introduction, where we gave a 30-second speech about ourselves, and you stand on stage and you just talk about yourself. And then the second thing that we get judged on was our interview. So we walked into a room with 5 judges, and you have about a minute with each judge, and then it's just speed. So it's 1 minute, move on to the next
Like
judge.
speed dating.
Yeah, basically.
So that part isn't done in front of an audience.
No, it's not.
Okay.
So it's in a room, and then you just go in there, you sit down, you say, "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Lily Dobson. It's very nice speaking to you today." And then they ask you a question, you have a minute to answer it, and then you move on to the next judge.
Okay.
And then the last thing is the formal wear, where you walk across the stage, and that's judged on how you carry yourself and how you present your confidence, and not what your dress looks like or how you look like, but how you carry yourself.
Now, and you even told me a little secret that you didn't even have the most fabulous, expensive gown in the world, right?
So a lot of us girls were told, do not go all out, because it's not based on how pretty your dress is. So a lot of us used our old prom dresses.
Perfect.
And we gave them a new purpose.
Well, I love that too, because you hear how much people invest so much and endless money into new dresses for every competition and stuff, but with the emphasis on being you and your character and how what your charisma on stage is so much more important and impactful, I think.
It is.
Absolutely. And then you participated in one other separate competition. What was that?
I did. I participated in the casual wear contest,
Yes.
where it was out of all of New England, not just Massachusetts. So there was also Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and upstate New York was also at the competition. So I placed 3rd overall out of all of New England. And I wore a little golf outfit. I had my golf skirt on and a little tank top, and I was carrying my driver and
Fabulous.
modeling.
Yes. Oh, everyone loves a prop.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, I can't be on stage without a prop. I'm like, what do I do with my hands?
Me too. I was like, you know what? That's the perfect thing, because I don't know where to put my hands.
And you're definitely comfortable with the driver. How long have
am.
you been golfing?
2 years, actually.
Oh, that's it. Oh,
Yes.
nice. Where do you golf in Marlborough?
So I work at the Haven Country Club in Boylston, so I golf in Boylston.
Fantastic, fantastic. So what was one of the most unexpected things that you experienced participating in this first pageant?
I think just all of the girls that I met and building the friendships that I did within the 3 days that I was there. I speak to all of the girls that I met still, and
Do you have a Facebook group chat or?
we don't, but
no?
we're on Snapchat texting
Okay.
each other.
Fun.
And then I also still communicate with the girl who won Miss Massachusetts. She lives in Worcester, and she's amazing. She's been competing for 13 years.
Wow, wow. So you said one of your missions in competing was to get out a message to young women. And what is that message, and how does it come from you?
Yeah, so I've had some traumas go on in my life where I brought me down to a very low point in my life. And if I was to talk to myself who I was 4 to 5 years ago, they would be surprised at what I'm doing and how far I've come and how strong I am now. And that's the message that I want to get across to little girls and women, that if you have those roadblocks, you can still strive. It may take a couple years to recover, but there is always success and happiness for everyone.
And not only have you overcome those personal roadblocks, it sounds like you've taken it to the next level to then share that message with people. It's one thing to tackle something internally that you're struggling with and be at peace, but now you've risen up to then share that message and that voice with other people, and that's so commendable. That's really fabulous. Tell me a little bit about how pageantry can serve this platform. You know, some people think, the preconceptions of pageants are the beauty pageant. And how especially does the National American Miss serve your platform and your voice?
Yeah, so National American Miss, another thing that we get judged on is that we need to participate in community service. So that gives us a platform to get out there and help in organizations that are near and dear to us. So right now I am helping out with children and coaching preschool age children for sports. So it's cute. I go to preschools and I help out with the little kids.
Yeah. If a little girl that you're coaching or something came up to you and said, I don't think I'm pageant material, what would you say to her?
I didn't think I was pageant material either until I got up there and I said, you know what, I can do this, because it's about yourself. Even in golf, I think about I'm not competing against other people, I'm competing against myself.
Fabulous. So you're a junior at Dean College, is that right?
Yes, I am.
And you're studying sports broadcasting.
Yes.
What drew you to that field?
So I started out college studying criminal justice, and I realized that is just not me at all. I grew up in sports. I played soccer, I played hockey, I played golf. So I've been around sports my whole life, and since I was 5 years old. So just getting into sports and talking about sports, it's all I talk about, really. And working at a golf course, all I talk about is sports.
Follow your passion and find the right way to a career.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think that you should be happy at your job and it doesn't feel like you're working.
I'm really lucky here at WMCT-TV. This is, something I'm passionate about. I love creating television and telling stories. Being here with you gives me such joy, and this is just part of the job. So thank you for being here and helping me live out my fantasy of having a great job too. How do you balance all of this? You're balancing college, golf, pageantry. How do you find time and make it all work?
Yeah, so when I'm at work, I actually will talk to a couple of the members and I'll be like, hey, can I practice my personal introduction speech with you or my interview skills? And a lot of the ladies will help me out. And then when I'm there, I can also golf. And then, so I'm practicing pageantry, I'm golfing, and I'm working all at the same time. So it's the best of both worlds.
Amazing. So you play golf for Dean.
Yes.
And you've only been playing golf for 2 years, so what got you into that sport?
So my senior year of high school, it was spring, my senior year. I was almost done with high school, but my grandfather was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, and he was the best golfer I've met. So I said, I need to learn from the best while I still have him here. So he taught me how to golf, and I made it on the varsity golf team within my first month of golfing. So I was like, okay. And then my grandfather also gave me the opportunity to connect with the former coach at my school. And then I got the opportunity to show him how I golf, and I was recruited also within that first month.
Yeah.
And then that year, in the fall, I went to Dean, and I started playing for the team. And then spring of 2024, I played my first tournament, where it was against 10 schools, and I played all against men. So I was an individual in a men's tournament. I did not place last, but I did not place well. But at Athletic Awards that spring, I received the Dean College Coaches Award. So I was very proud of that, and I know my grandfather would be proud of that too.
I'm sure he would be. Do you also fundraise for youth sports? Is that correct?
Yes. So I'm looking to eventually in Marlborough hold a fundraising drive where I can collect used youth sports equipment, and I can donate that to sporting teams around Marlborough to give kids the opportunities to go play those sports. When I played youth hockey, I did not have the money to buy equipment because it's very expensive. And I was given the opportunity to go to a storage bin where they had all this equipment that I could pick out, and I use that equipment. So I want to give that back.
That accessibility is just so important to just level the playing field and make sure so many other young people can have opportunities to just try out as many things as they want to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So what are you looking most forward to as you head to nationals representing Marlborough?
I think it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of prep.
When are nationals?
Nationals is in November, so
Okay.
it's Thanksgiving week. It's a 9-day long pageant, not a 3-day long pageant.
Woohoo!
So there is a lot involved, and we do have a day off where we can go to Universal or SeaWorld with all of my friends that I meet at nationals. So just preparing for that, doing my fundraising, outreaching to the community.
Are you preparing any differently this time around? Are there more different categories or things you need to prepare for?
So it's the same categories, the formal wear, the introduction, the interviewing, and the community service. So that's all the same. But at the national level, it's judged a little bit more. So there's a little more prep that you need to put in. And a lot of these girls spend years training for this level. So
if you were to win this national title, what would you do with that platform?
I would use my platform to, as I said, give those girls and women a place where they can speak about their stories and be heard, because a lot of women are not heard with their stories and they don't feel like they can come forward and tell how they're speaking. So I want to be and give that opportunity to them to speak about how they're feeling and what they're going through.
Well, let me tell you, even if nationals doesn't pan out, which fingers crossed it will, you have such an energy and charisma that you can make that platform for yourself. I feel like so many young people and young women especially would meet you and respect you and look up to you, and you have so much to share. So I hope you'll continue sharing no matter what direction your path takes you.
Thank you.
And speaking of which way your path takes you, what do you see in your future in the next few years as you graduate from college? What's the future look like for you?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to get an internship soon in sports broadcasting. I'm looking at a bunch of sports that I'm interested in. I love hockey and I love doing baseball. I love talking about those sports.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And I'm hoping that I can just continue my career in sports with where I'm going right now.
Excellent. Well, I've got to connect you with our sports director here at the studio. We're small here in Marlborough, but we can always use additional commentators and color for all different sports, especially women's sports, and especially people that know what they're watching. I have no idea what I'm watching when I watch a game. That's Matt's job, but we'd love to have you help out in some capacity if you're sticking around the area. Fabulous. Where can people find more information about you to contribute to your campaign as you're fundraising? And look out for information when you start to do this other donations collection with all sports equipment. Where can we find you and follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on my socials on Instagram or Facebook. I'm more active on Facebook with the community side of things. I'll post on the residents of Marlborough. And you can find me just Lily Dobson.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, Lily, it's been such a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
And best of luck at Nationals. We'll all be cheering from you while we're eating our Thanksgiving turkey and thinking about you. And will any of those competitions be broadcast live or for us to be able to watch from home somewhere?
I'm not sure yet, but I believe so.
So we'll follow your socials and you'll keep us posted there.
I'll definitely vlog.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining me here.
Thank you for having me.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Marlborough Minute. If you have an exciting story to tell, whatever you're doing here in Marlborough, I'd love to interview you right here at WMCT-TV. I'm Ryan Malar, and thanks for watching.